Gentlemen, hello. You are like a young Sting, you know, or a Billy Idol to me.
I was compared yesterday to a mad scientist.
A mad scientist, but a very mad punk rock scientist, I think.
There you go.
Why, we'll get to you in a second, Urbania, why are you sort of the mad genius of real estate social media?
Oh, I don't know that I'm the mad genius. It is something we've embraced. It's so important, and we heard today from Thornton and from Anat Yardi about how it's changing our entire landscape, not only how we communicate with our clients and our vendors. It's about our brand. It's about everything that we do. It's instantaneous. It's a way to communicate with everybody like we've never had before.
Yeah. Well, tell me one tip that all of these people are missing when it comes to social media. Where are we getting it wrong?
Well, first thing is nobody is really claiming their digital assets in advance. So people are still trying to figure out how to use social media. In the meantime, what they're doing is not claiming Facebook.com/property or the Twitter name of the property.
They're not?
A lot of companies aren't.
Oh, wow.
And what's happening is their competition or somebody who may have an axe to grind can grab them and use it against them.
Ooh.
So first and foremost is claim the digital assets and develop a strategy. But at least this way you're protecting your turf and your company's brand and reputation.
Evan, so tell us a little bit about claiming digital assets.
Well, I think Sandy's point is true, is that you want to make sure that your digital footprint is protected, and that means you know, gathering the platforms you think you're going to be on, reserving those names, having those accounts kind of in your toolbox, so that when it's time to get out there and really start using them, you've got them at your disposal. No one's claiming them and using them against you, and that's really critical.
Have you guys seen people with an axe to grind claiming something and they're just lording it over someone else?
Well, we've seen a lot of different things where people that have an issue or a negative comment are much more vocal than those that are positive.
Right.
And they've got the reason. And we have actually had to go back to Facebook and Twitter to try and claim things that people had grabbed a while back. Think about the old day when that was the domain name grab, back in the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
And people would grab different names and try and hoard them or use them. And same thing with social media now. We're seeing it.
I tried to get Sandy's name on Twitter, but of course it's already been taken. And clearly the things that he says, and both on the conference floor and on social media, need to be heavily protected and guarded.
Well, and actually the ironic part is a relative of mine grabbed Jacolow before I did, and it's the only thing that's not, so I've got an inconsistency in my brand when I'm out there.
Oh, no. And is he really using it, or is he just kind of parking it? And he won't give it to you?
We're going through a family negotiation.
If you're out there, Sam, it's really not nice. Guys, where else do people need a learning when it comes to social media? Where can we be instructed?
Well, a couple of different things, particularly with some of the SEC regulations that have come out, where you can use Facebook and Twitter for public disclosure, particularly for REITs and other public companies. You have to educate. You have to educate your employees. Not only the difference in that fine line between a personal Facebook page and a public Facebook page or account or Twitter. And it's not only those. It is education, it is monitoring, because people are going to talk about your company whether you're involved or engaging them or not. So you want to constantly have that awareness. You want to monitor. You want to train and educate your employees what to say, what not to say. And remember, it's constantly choosing your words wisely.
Yeah.
Grammar is important, and you can't switch from Twitter to email and use the same language. It's really important.
I think the three areas that people are really neglecting, especially in the commercial real estate and the B2B side, is that, you know, content's important, where you get your content and how you create it. Becoming a publishing company and becoming creative around that is really a challenge for a lot of companies.
Sure.
Measurement, and how do you know if you're going in the right direction, and then training the people in your organization culturally that this is part of our DNA and this is something we have to deal with moving forward. Those are the big areas, and clearly everyone wants to get ROI, so making sure you have a strategy in place that you can measure and adjust is really critical.
Oh, so, okay, well, go ahead.
ROI is interesting because it's not the old-fashioned type of ROI where you're going to see a financial gain.
Okay.
It's all about brand management, relating to your customers, and getting them to feel comfortable and engaged, so it's a sense of community, so that they feel comfortable about who you are and working with you, and getting them just to have that constant communication.
And it's about efficiency, making sure you can do what you want to do and not have it either cost a fortune or require tons of people.
Can you name one company in this sphere that does this well?
Douglas Elliman, Steve Kotler was here last year. We were on a session of social media. Douglas Elliman has done it very well. They're one of the, really have pushed it, embraced it. Who have you seen that's done it well?
Maybe besides Sandy Jacolow?
I'm not as, so here's an interesting thing. I'm not consistent, which is what you really need to be with social media.
Right.
So I don't do it as well as I should.
Well, I think in the industry that we're in, the third-party broker system, you know, the CB Richard Ellis, the Cushman and Wakefield's, Jones Lang LaSalle, they really have it down because they're doing it both from a corporate level as well as empowering all the agents and brokers and people across the organization. So those people are really doing a good job.
Do you think most of those people are hiring one person to be the social media person? Do you think they've got 4 or 5 people sharing responsibilities, or do you think it's someone in the company who's just doing their job and on top of that doing the social media?
I think it's always a combination. I think there's definitely a point person who serves as a liaison or an editor or a curator. There's definitely some people that are providing support and doing content. I think that it's most successful when you kind of spread it across a number of resources.
Yeah, and we're seeing very similar. You're starting to see social media coordinators, social media managers within the company because even when you hire third-party companies like a Chatterblast, they can't understand your brand, the nuances of your company, as well as somebody inside. So you need that collaborative effort, and it's a new position that we're all seeing.
Yeah.
It's all about being clear, concise, and consistent.
I've got a company. I want to get my feet wet. I've done some successful and unsuccessful forays into it. What's the highest leverage move I can make right now to get my company started on the path to success in social media?
Good.
I mean, I think every company and every professional needs to be on LinkedIn. So if you haven't mastered that both personally and professionally and for your company, then all the other pieces, not going to fall into place.
On your website, do you have any kind of LinkedIn tutorials or any kind of best practice guidelines for LinkedIn?
So our blog on chatterblast.com is a constant source of new trends, information, how-tos, and information that's helpful with it, whether you're just getting started or if you're a professional like Sandy.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly tweeting about different things, links to different articles, tips that people can use. Because it's really, what's also interesting is what might have worked today may not work 3 months from now.
Right.
So it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. And it's education, it's understanding what you want to do, having that message, and understanding what you're trying to convey to people, not just being on Facebook just to be on Facebook.
Right.
And that's a big mistake that people, they don't develop the strategy beforehand.
And choose your platforms wisely. You don't need to be on everyone, and if you're not doing it right, don't do it.
Right.
And make sure that you have the capability to maintain it.
Very cool. God, I wish I could talk to you guys all afternoon. I want to thank you. What's going on with there?
Well, I mean, if he's going to do it, I've got a...
It's kind of a little bit of Blues Brothers going on
very
here.
cool.
We're performing in the corner after this.
Okay,
actually,
great.
So if you want to follow up, we'll be over there from 3 to 5.
Sandy Jacolow, Evan Urbania, you guys, thank you for being here all
Thank
week.
you. Fabulous. Much appreciated.
Thanks a lot, guys. And check them out, chatterblast.com.
Chatterblast.com.
Where can we catch you? Where do you tweet?
At Jacolow on Twitter and Jacolow on LinkedIn.
And soon Jacolow on Twitter, but after I talk to Simon or Sam.
Sam.
It is Sam, right?
I can't wait to see the Sandy Vines. Once he gets on Vine.
Once you get on Vine, it's going to be out. Guys, thank you so much for being
Have a great
here.
afternoon.